From the heartland of America, one man's vision plowed new paths for farmers. John Deere's legacy isn't just about machines, it's about revolutionizing agriculture, fueling progress, and shaping the world we know today. John Deere started his journey as a small American blacksmith and went on to create a global empire specializing in the best agricultural equipment of the time, with a market cap of $102.51 billion. Let's hear the story of John Deere, the man whose ideas led to a more productive, greener future. Deere and Company serve blue-collar workers around the globe, specializing in agricultural, construction, and forestry equipment. All of this is due to the efforts of a single man. John Deere was born in 1804 in Rutland, Vermont. At the age of 4, he lost his father and was solely raised by his mother. When he was young, he was quite renowned in his town because of his fine blacksmith skills. People in the town believed that John was born to be a blacksmith, as his workmanship and quality of work were exceptional. Things were going smoothly until the economy of New England collapsed in 1836. Vermonters started to migrate towards Illinois. John followed the trend and established his blacksmith shop in Grand Detour, Illinois. Shortly after becoming somewhat recognized for his work, he learned that the local farmers around him commonly used cast iron plows that performed really poorly in the sticky soil of the Midwest prairie. That sticky soil stuck to the bottoms of those plows, and farmers had to stop working every few feet, scraping off that dirt. Deere thought of an idea here. He thought that if the surface of that plow was highly polished, it would keep shedding that sticky soil as it moved through the field. Convinced by his inventor mindset, Deere made a plow using steel from his broken saw blade. The new concept was a big hit. Soon this news spread throughout the village as people heard that a young blacksmith had tested his new self-scouring plow. And soon, those plows not only became Deere's identity, but also his main business. John became famous among farmers for his new plow design. To multiply his success, he built 2 more plows in the same year and 10 more in 1829. Until the 1840s, John kept his happy, stable life with a good plow business. He also manufactured other convenient tools for farmers, including pitchforks and shovels. Soon his product became so recognized that he thought of increasing his production rate, but his shop was too small for the set growth. A turning point in his business life came when he met Leonard Artis in 1843. Leonard was also a blacksmith of Grand Detour and was looking for ways to expand his production. Deere considered this a grand opportunity and asked him for a partnership. They both decided to construct factories for plow production together, which was more effective in meeting the demand for the sticky soil of the Midwest. In 1848, watching the growing demand, Deere realized that he needed better transportation sources and suppliers to further expand his business. To accomplish this goal, he moved his operation 70 miles southwest to Moline, Illinois, which was located on the east bank of the Mississippi River. At the new location, Deere easily got his raw materials via riverboats and used water power to run his factory. The relocation proved to be fruitful. His business had been a success locally. It was the time when Deere and his company were making 1,000 plows a year. Due to ownership disputes with his partner, John wanted to become the sole owner of the company, so he decided to dissolve his contract with Leonard Andrus. This decision was very important and a big step, as he now controlled his business using his own strategies and operations. He had to manage everything alone. With this dissolution, he solidified his company's reputation in the agricultural equipment industry quite well. His plows brought much ease to the farming industry. It enabled the farmers to do more with less, improving farming efficiency and crop production. It was a golden year for the Deere Company when, in 1855, they were able to sell more than 10,000 plows. Farmers even started calling them the plow that broke the plains. But soon, in 1858, a nationwide financial recession struck, and its effects were severed on the company. Not many people were investing in agriculture, and there were high chances of bankruptcy. To prevent that, John Deere acted on a reorganization strategy. He sold his business interests to his son-in-law, Christopher Weber, and his son Charles. However, John remained a central part of the company and kept his presidential authority. In 1863, he also developed the first riding plow, which he named the Hawkeye Riding Cultivator. The company was finally officially incorporated as Deere and Company in 1864 and regained its real recognition by 1868, which it used to have in the times of Deere. To advance the company's sales nationwide, Charles started to introduce marketing centers and independent retail dealers. This resulted in a very effective outcome for him, as Deere & Co. won the best and greatest display of plows and variety at the 17th Annual Illinois State Fair, for which it won a silver medal, along with an award of $10, which is equal to $231 today. The company was finally stable, but the nationwide financial instability came back. The financial crisis of 1873 made Deere & Company face many significant challenges. The farmers were suffering greatly due to their reduced income and a sudden rise in debt. Because of that, they stopped buying many of Deere's tools, causing the company to suffer. To escape these complexities, John had to make some strategic adjustments. To get out of this economic storm, the company started focusing more on cost-cutting measures, improving its operational efficiency, and maintaining relationships with its very loyal customers. Gradually, when the situation became a bit stable, by the year 1876, Deere & Company registered its very first company logo, featuring a leaping deer. Unfortunately, living his long prosperous life, John passed away in the year 1886, marking the end of an era and leaving his presidential seat for his successor, Charles Deere. Charles was already involved in many areas of the business and was well prepared to manage the president's seat. He focused on expanding the company's product line the most and also introduced John Deere bicycles for the first time in the year 1890. The start of the new century brought a new era for Deere & Company, often referred to as the birth of the modern Deere. This era was defined by many acquisitions and fierce market competition. Charles's son-in-law, William Butterworth, became the president of Deere & Company in 1912, 5 years after Charles's death in 1907. One of Deere's early competitors at that time was the International Harvester Company. Both companies were growing side by side until 1906, when International Harvester started pushing its dealers to sell only its products. The company, also known as IH, expanded its range by purchasing companies that made farm wagons, gas engines, and manure spreaders. This move worried Deere & Company, who feared that International Harvester might try to buy them out. To protect the company, in 1907, Chairman William Butterworth bought Fort Smith Wagon Company and started John Deere Plow Company in Canada. They also attempted to buy a Canadian harvester company, but didn't come to terms. The news of this acquisition made International Harvester nervous, especially when Deere hired one of their top designers. This is how Deere outsmarted its competitors and continued to lead in the agricultural industry. By the end of 1912, the company was operating with 15 manufacturing facilities, 24 sales branches, and an export department based in Moline. William wanted to revive the company's original agricultural spirit and expand more in the field of tractors. The company also briefly experimented with many of its own tractor models. Among these, the most successful was the Dane all-wheel drive. However, they weren't satisfied with its results and decided to make a better acquisition in 1918. They purchased the Waterloo Gasoline Engine Company for $2.2 million, which is now approximately equal to $42 million. Thanks to this acquisition, Deere & Company were able to manufacture the popular Waterloo Boy tractor, serving its facilities in Waterloo, Iowa. They continued to manufacture and sell more and more tractors under the name of Waterloo Boy, until 1923, when the John Deere Model D was introduced. The John Deere Model D tractor marked a significant milestone, as it was the first tractor built, marketed, and named John Deere, with a 2-cylinder kerosene engine producing 15 horsepower at the drawbar and 22 horsepower at the belt. It effectively replaced the Waterloo Boy in the company's lineup. Even today, the company continues its legacy of manufacturing a wide range of tractors in Waterloo, Iowa. Modern series like the 7R, 8R, and 9R tractors demonstrate John Deere's ongoing dedication to excellence in agricultural machinery. 4 years later, in 1927, Deere made its first combine harvester, the John Deere No. 2, which had more power than the Model D. The following year, they introduced the smaller John Deere No. 1-inch, which customers liked more. By 1929, both models were replaced by newer, lighter harvesters, helping the farmers save time and labor costs. In the year 1934, John Deere and the company developed their famous Model A and Model B tractors. The Model A was specifically designed for larger farms and offered much power and versatility, while the Model B was for smaller farms. It was very easy to use and offered great maneuverability. During World War II, the temporary president of the company was Burton F. Peake. He took over for John Deere's great-grandson, Charles Deere Wimmen, who accepted a commission as a colonel in the U.S. Army. While Charles was away, Burton directed the War Production Board's Farm Machinery and Equipment Division. In addition to that, he also expanded the product line by manufacturing military tractors, aircraft parts, ammunition, and mobile laundry units to support the war effort. In the year 1947, Deere & Company introduced their first self-propelled combine, Model 55. It was soon followed by smaller models that observed the market demands. In the same year, the company also released the Model M tractor, which featured a hydraulic lift system in it. This system allowed a much easier and more efficient operation of mounted implements, reducing labor and physical strain. Its user-friendly design became very popular among the small farms of America. During the mid-1950s, Deere also introduced an attachable corn head, which helped corn farmers pick, shell, and clean corn in one smooth operation, rather than spending a day doing this process step by step. Growing its name in the industries of foreign countries, Deere & Company bought a German tractor manufacturing company named Heinrich Lanz AG in the year 1956. In the same year, the company also opened its very first foreign manufacturing plant in Mexico. Deere's non-stop expansion in the second half of the 20th century led to its great global network of factories, offices, and design centers, manufacturing products according to the demands of different regions. At that time, the company was decentralized and had significant freedom in designing different products, choosing dealers and suppliers, running factories, and managing distributions. The company's core focus during those years was on global growth and expansion. Deere also created a standalone industrial equipment division and established many new dealerships to support a full lineup of construction machinery. By 1958, John Deere Credit Company came into being, which handled financed domestic purchases of Deere equipment. This credit structure was actually formalized in 1931, when the company began accepting farmer credit notes and extending payment terms during the Great Economic Depression. This helped farmers through tough times, strengthened loyalty for generations, and showed John Deere's commitment to the people connected to the land. Today, it has supported farmers across 53 countries with financial solutions to keep them running for decades. On August 30, 1960, John Deere held a big event called Deere Day in Dallas to showcase their new 4-cylinder and 6-cylinder tractors. Dealers from around the world came to see the new tractors, which took 5 years to develop. The event was featured with presentations, live demos, and many new green and yellow machines. It was held in large venues in Dallas, including the Dallas Memorial Auditorium and the Cotton Bowl. A special John Deere tractor with a diamond-covered nameplate was also displayed at the Neiman Marcus store. John Deere's next update was the new 10 Series tractors, which had many upgrades from the older models, including more horsepower, better hydraulics, and improved operator comfort. The 4010 was the most popular model, with over 58,000 units sold from 1960 to 1963. This success helped John Deere boost its market share from 23% in 1959 to 34% by 1964, making it the top farm equipment manufacturer in the U.S. This was a huge upgrade in the company's history, and really made the world realize that John's instincts were right. There was something big in his way. His life wasn't ordinary like the majority. Deere once again showed up in the market with its new product line, this time featuring lawn and garden tractors with attachments like mowers and snowblowers. Finally, the company established a centralized headquarters in Moline, Illinois, giving it a more organized global structure. Despite all this growth, Deere & Company experienced significant breakthroughs and quickly recovered from multiple losses. By the time the company celebrated its 150th anniversary in 1986, it had reported a loss of $99 million, which is roughly equivalent to $280 million today. In the year 1991, John Deere reached a major milestone by creating a new worldwide consumer equipment division, C&CE, separate from its existing agriculture equipment division. This change highlighted Deere & Co.'s leadership in various types of heavy machinery, not just in agriculture. In the year 1994, the John Deere Company came up with its 7000 series tractors, further marking their name in the agricultural industry. These tractors really fulfilled the demanding needs of modern farming. They featured powerful engines, advanced hydraulics, and much more user-friendly controls that can be easily managed by illiterate farmers. Exactly 3 years later, in 1997, John Deere introduced its next 8000 series tractors, helping farmers to handle their work with much enhanced quality, taking much less time. These tractors featured electronic fuel injection and advanced transmission systems, which ensure better engine performance. However, as the world was growing more modern and competitive by the 2000s, some senior management started to question if their existing models were accurate for the modern world's expertise, technologies, and global footprint. Not just those managers, but the majority also observed that the company was not operating as quickly as it could, and that it was not as cost competitive as it needed to be. This realization led Deere to expand its scale and complexity, introducing a wider range of products in the following decades. The company also acquired a forestry equipment producer in the year of 2000 and handled many production facilities in India by 1998, Brazil in 2004, Russia in 2005, and China in 2007. This global reach made the company recognized by even the common people of those countries. In fact, this reach extended much beyond the production facilities, including technological centers in various countries. By the year 2008, Deere & Company was divided into 4 major divisions, including agricultural equipment, commercial and consumer equipment, construction machinery, and financial services. The company was growing at a high speed, selling a lot of its new equipment to multiple dealers and distributors. In the same year, the agricultural division of Deere accounted for 64% of the company's $25.8 billion in net sales, among which the consumer and construction divisions contributed to 17% and 19% respectively. In September 2017, Deere & Company agreed to buy Blue River Technology, a company in Sunnyvale, California. Blue River uses machine learning to improve farming. They've created technology that helps farmers use herbicides only where there are weeds, reducing overall herbicide use. And finally, by 2023, the company celebrated its 186th anniversary and made a promise to continue leading the agricultural market with much innovation and sustainability. Today, John Deere & Company globally manages the agricultural equipment and construction industries, celebrating a total revenue of $61.2 billion yearly. John Deere holds a market share of 35%, just 3% behind its competitor, Caterpillar Inc. The company also secured a remarkable 64th spot on the Global Fortune 500 in 2024. The Leaping Deer logo has been used by Deere & Company for over 155 years. The logo has seen minor changes over time, with some older versions featuring the deer leaping over a log. For its products, the company uses different colors. Agricultural products are painted in a distinctive green with a yellow border, while construction products are black with a yellow deer and a yellow border. The company is still following the strategies of the founder John Deere, who started designing his machinery by observing the needs of the farmers around him. He saw that they needed a tool that handles the sticky soil of the Midwest really well. In the future, the company aims to reduce waste intensity by 15% by 2030. What do you think about John Deere and the company's amazing journey of becoming the leader of the agricultural industry? Let us know in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to press that subscribe button to stay updated with more informative documentaries.